What's up, YouTube? So, don't judge my attire today. I know I got a faded shirt on, but I'm on my way to the gym, so that's why I got that on. But I want to talk about this, right? Let's talk about cleaning franchise, or this could kind of apply to independent people too, but it's mainly going to be talking to the cleaning franchise owners. I had several people actually hit me up, whether it was be in the inbox or call or whatever, and they were franchise owners and they were asking me. One person went as far as to ask me, "Is it typical to hit 100,000 in your first year because their franchise seemed to be moving slow?" Another person asked me, and a couple other people asked me actually, not just one person. A few people asked me, "Is it common to hit 100,000 in your first year?" And this is what I want to tell you. Okay, sorry, I'm driving. I'm about to park though, so I'll be looking at y'all in a minute. Shout out Lisa. She said hello. Shout out Bird Bishop. Appreciate y'all. Uh, it's definitely not typical, okay? That's why I highlighted, okay? When people do it, shout out Walter Lives. When people hit six figures fast, that's why I call them for interviews to come talk up here, because it's not typical. Now, is it impossible? Absolutely not. Several people have done it. Y'all seen it, right? But y'all hear me talk about it so a lot that you might think that that's normal or typical. It's not, okay? It's not. And here's something you got to understand. I want y'all to look at something for a minute, because we had a discussion in the Clean Biz Network group here recently, and one of the guys was mentioning, he was basically trying to say that he wondered if people are really, if their business is going as well as they say it is, because he don't see enough of like the horror stores or whatever. I guess he might have been going through a rough time in his company. He like, why the hell I keep going through rough times? Anybody else going through rough times? So, what I decided, I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and share this, because I don't want people to get confused. And I think I do this good enough anyway. I think I try to balance it out good enough as it is. But let me put it out here again. You got to look at the view. Shout out Julian Blunt, Clean Biz Network member. You got to understand. Look at look at me, for example. I hit six figures. I actually, like I said, I read my ebook. I don't think it was in year one. I think I did it right in month 13. Right, so right after my first year, I hit six figures, and I worked my ass off, okay? I didn't accept every account they threw to me, because I'd done it before, right? So I had a franchise before, so I knew not to accept every single account that they offer me, because I know that some accounts aren't always big, right? And some accounts, it's more difficult than others. So I knew that coming in that I only wanted office accounts with carpets. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to do a bunch of dirty stuff, because I didn't want to hire people to do nothing that I didn't want to do myself, right? So that was my thing. But I accepted a lot of accounts. I bought out of a lot of other franchise owners. I bought accounts from other franchise owners back when they allowed us to do it. What else did I do? I worked day and night. Like, I started off with my job working in the day, then I worked at night. Then I grew my company so big that I had to work day and night in accounts. I had daytime accounts and nighttime accounts. I worked every weekend. I didn't have any weekends off, okay? Cleaning up to 20 accounts sometimes in a weekend. All right, so I worked a lot. And then I talked to other people in the group who I know who have grossed like six. Matter of fact, go listen to Janelle. What's his name? Travis Benson. Go listen to Travis Benson interview, the one that hit 200,000 in 6 months. If you listen to what he said that he worked 24-hour shifts sometimes. He would have to go get on the treadmill just so he can stay woke, because he knew that he would fall asleep, so he would hurry up when he get off cleaning buildings. He hurry up and go to the gym, get on the treadmill, so he go and work some more. Like, are you willing to go through that? That's how you can answer if it's typical or not to get six figures in your first year or in 6 months or whatever the case may be. Ask yourself, are you willing to work 24 hours a day? Are you willing to work 7 days a week, no weekends off, no going out to the club, none of that shit? You know what I mean? Like, just straight grinding, stacking, ugly ass Jan Pro shirt every day, or coverall, or whatever company you went on every day, right? That same cleaning shirt every day. If you would do that, if you can do that, then you can do it. You know what I mean? That's why when I used to do all my early videos, you go back to 2014, 2015, might even 2016. You look at all those videos, I had my shirt on the whole time, because I was always grinding. That's why I was always in my car. Now I'm in my car just because it's kind of a habit. You see I'm in the house a little bit more in some videos now. But that's why I was always in the car when I do my videos, because that was my life. building after building after building. Then I started to scale up, but then I realized, oh shit, if I hire more people, now I'm taking away from how much I could pay myself. So that's when you start realizing, oh, wait a minute, the company money and my money is two separate things. That's when I started teaching y'all how to scale up. Like I told you, I teach y'all this stuff as I go. Nobody's teaching me. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm here for you, to help guide you so you can fast forward through all the bullshit, right? And it's like I see people, I mean, like, I see people making mistakes, and they think that just because in their first year they see these checks that they getting, or they see that gross revenue, they see that top line, and they think that they balling. You know what I mean? They talking about trips, they talking about buying new cars and jewelry and all this type of shit, and it's like you broke. Your first 5 years, I'm trying any business, not just cleaning franchise, not just a cleaning company in general, any company. Anytime you start a new company, you in a startup phase for the first 4 or 5 years. So don't even think about buying nothing. Cut your expenses. If you ain't got no kids, if you ain't married, carry your ass back to your parents' house. Okay? If you do got kids and stuff, keep your expenses low as possible. If you on your own, keep your expenses low as possible. Okay? When I started mine, I did record like I knew better, but I just didn't always do better. You know what I mean? Like I had just bought my house the first year. So I lived in my house my first year of my company. Then I said, all right, let me cut my expenses. I rented the house out to create a form of income, and I moved into projects to the apartment, right? And I did that all the way up until they broke into my shit and then moved. Right? All right. So anyway, but you gotta understand. Look at the people that's doing that, and look at everything. Stop looking at other people and seeing their results to their success, but you ain't willing to put in the work that they put in. If you know that they offer you an account, and then you get an account, and then you being picky about, oh, this account ain't worth a certain amount, or this ain't that, or this. If you're doing all of that, then you ain't doing what these people said. I got people in my group that said that they accepted everything the franchise gave to them. Everything. Now, I'm not telling you to do that at all. I'm definitely not telling you to do that. But what I'm telling you is that's what they were willing to do. So if you think you're going to get the results that they got, you need to make sure that your actions are mirroring what their actions is. You can't think you're going to get what they got, but you ain't willing to do what they did. Now, me personally, I didn't accept every single thing that was thrown at me because, like I said, I knew better. Now, I mean, like when you go to scale up, and when I mean by scale up is when it's not you cleaning the buildings anymore, or you and your wife, or you and your friend, or you and your homeboy, the people that you know like that, when you actually go to hire real people who rely on this check, and you gotta make payroll, and they not gonna work with you if you ain't got it because that's not your bro. Know what I mean? When you get strangers, that's when the shit matters how much the account actually pays. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't just keep accepting everything. You got to make sure it makes sense. And then also you learn over time, because when you first get in, you don't know anyway. You don't know how to bid yet. You don't know if something is underbid or not. All you can go is how it feels. And feelings is the wrong place to be, right? Everything got to make mathematical sense. So, like I told y'all before, if you ever get an account and you feel like it's underbid, you need to be able to explain the math on why it's underbid. I was able to explain the math while I was underbid in cases when I thought accounts were underbid, and so I went back to the franchise and we renegotiated shit, whether it was them taking out that sales and marketing fee or decreasing it, or whether it was us going back to the customer together and asking for a raise. But some way, one way or another, we worked it out. But in order for me to get to that point, I had to show them mathematically why the account was underbid. You can't just say, oh, this account is underbid. Like, show me how. Show me how. And then just because it take you 5 hours, don't mean it take everybody 5 hours. Are you cleaning efficiently enough? I mean, do you know what you're doing yet? And because some franchises don't go extensive enough in their training to teach you how to clean well. It comes with time. I mean, I've been cleaning since I was 17, like in high school. So that stuff came to me, like I knew that part already. So by the time I got to the franchise part and being my own boss and like, that was the cleaning part was besides the point for me. But some of you have to work there. If you know that ain't your background and you new to this, and then you just bought in, like you gotta think like, I don't like to say be realistic, because I know being realistic is what kills dreams. But like, you gotta put things into perspective though. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing what they doing, you can't think you're gonna get what they getting. And like I was kind of alluding to and hinting to, sometimes you might not want what you think you see them getting anyway, because you got, like, I went into debt to grow that damn fast. And going into debt to grow can help. sometime it'll pay off. What you call it do it? He's still doing it. Jeff Bezos, richest man in the world. He goes into debt to grow. And what I mean by going to debt is he operates in the negative sometimes on new things so it can grow. Then once the people catch up, once the customers catch up with it, it'll all pay itself off in the long run. But you got to have patience to grow like that. I grew like that. I would take an account, let's say $4,000 a month account. Then you do 4,000 times what they used to charge me, like 3 times the gross. So that's $12,000 it would cost me to acquire that new account from that franchise owner, right? Then they will finance it to me over 12 months. Well, when they finance it to me over 12 months, after I finish paying my workers, the amount after I take the regular franchise fees out, after I take the sales and marketing fee out that I'm paying monthly to finance that note, and then after I pay people to cover that account, I was either left with zero or negative money on those accounts for that first year. Then after the first year, I would go, then all right, now I'm making money now. Now I'm making 40%, 30%, whatever the return is, right? But it's like, okay, are you willing to do it? I was willing to do that. To some people, that sounds dumb as hell. You know what I mean? Like some people, but like I said, Jeff Bezos does that. There's plenty of people that do that. But it's all up to you and what's worth it to you. But what you got to understand is you can't get the results that certain people, you can't get the results I got and think you're not going to go into debt to grow it. You know what I mean? Or take some risk to grow it. You ain't going to get the results that Travis got. You gonna get the results Travis got. You gonna hit 200. Like I didn't hit 200,000 in my first 6 months because I wasn't willing to work 24 hours a day like he was. Right? I wasn't working. I didn't do all the shit that he was doing. You know, he also moved. He accepted accounts. I think he said it was 45 minutes away from his house. I didn't do that. I kept my account. I had nice little what they call them. I think they call it like Empire, whatever you call them. But anyway, I had nice little spots. I would have like 10 accounts in one little area, one industrial area, all 10 accounts in one spot. Then I have another area, industrial area, 10 accounts in that spot. Then another area, 10. Like I was very good with that. So it was easy for me to put accounts together, then put a team in that one area. You know what I mean? To cover it. Like all of that shit plays a part into it. All right. So don't be so focused on trying to grow so fast and keep up with other people, and then the shit don't make sense for you. You gotta do what makes sense for you. So hopefully that was able to help help y'all a little bit. And when you asking, okay, well, 6 months, it's 6 figures in the first year, typical. It's not typical, number one. And number two, depending on how you grow, it might not be always good news anyway. All right, so be careful with that. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and shoot them in before I get off. And but that's all I got. I'm about to head into this little gym and get my work in. But I appreciate y'all for coming here, chilling with me live, man. And that's all I got.